The Goths, Franks and Langobards set out on treks in search of somewhere else to settle. Some had ox carts with wheels of solid wood, which later gave way to spokes. The Angles, Saxons and Jutes used longboats to cross the North Sea to Britain. The Vandals crossed the Mediterranean. The Germanic boats were narrow and fast, forerunners of the streamlined Viking ships. Generations of Germanic tribesmen were on the move. Some lived by plunder, others settled peacefully. It was the Hun invasion that sparked this large-scale migration, but the underlying cause was hunger, caused by failing harvests. At the end of the 4th century, the climate had gone berserk. The Germanic tribes felt robbed of their future. A wave of refugees, thousands upon thousands of people, swept over Europe. The Franks prospered from their migration. They were made up of several smaller tribal groups who settled on the east bank of the lower Rhine.
Wie weit ist es noch?
Ein bisschen musst du noch durchhalten. Es ist nicht mehr weit.
Gradually, they merged into bigger groups, and finally into one large and powerful tribe.
Du wirst sehen, der Weg lohnt sich. Dort ist es viel schöner als zu Hause.
This large tribe came to an arrangement with the Romans and got their permission to cross the Rhine.
Ich hab Hunger.
Ja,
Und ich bin müde.
ja.
The tribes found new homes in what is now northern France, in Alsace and Switzerland, in Belgium and the Netherlands. In almost 200 years on the move, the tribes spread all over Europe, and in the case of the Vandals, into North Africa. They fought repeated wars with Rome, which ended only when the Goths swept into Italy, bringing down the Roman Empire in the west. From their original modest settlements, the Franks spread out further and further. Paris soon became their capital. Their king was Clovis, a Merovingian who had appointed himself.
Sind die Urkunden fertig? Bist du soweit?
Ja, alles wie gewünscht. Es fehlt nur noch...
Clovis ordered a collection of laws to be written, the Lex Salica. Although focusing on Frankish interests, it was the first ever legal text produced by the Germanic peoples. The Lex Salica dealt with a range of legal questions, such as inheritance law, and it codified legal cases and forms of punishment. The penalties included strokes of the rod and fines, with freemen more likely to be fined. Only a few offences carried the death penalty. In order to become king of the Franks, Clovis subjugated all of the Frankish tribes, the Alemanni, the West Goths, and the Burgundians. Only a few had bowed to his will voluntarily.
Die Hände fallen.
Ach so. Hiermit unterwerfe ich mich deiner Macht und schwöre dir ewige Treue.
Mit all meinen Kräften werde ich deinen Stamm schützen.
To demonstrate their allegiance, subject lords had to kneel before the king, the Germanic way of making it quite clear who was boss.
Wieder ein Feind weniger. Am Ende kriege ich sie ja doch alle.
Wir werden immer größer und mächtiger.
Clovis went down in history as the founder of the Frankish kingdom. his dynasty expanded. In the 6th century, his empire ran from Western Germany to the Pyrenees. The successor states still exist today. Clovis was christened in the French city of Reims. For this, he had to give up his claim of descent from the pagan gods. In its turn, the church promised him that after his death, he and his successors would continue to rule in heaven. And his rule on earth was henceforth legitimated by God. The conversion of Clovis to Christianity paved the way for preachers and monks to evangelize the Germanic peoples. By and large, they did so peacefully. The Germanic peoples gradually abandoned their pagan faith and turned to Christianity, and for one main reason.
Das Attraktivste am Christentum für die Germanen dürfte gewesen sein, die Aussicht auf ein Jenseits, das allen Menschen offen steht, als auch Frauen, Kindern, denjenigen, die an Krankheiten gestorben sind, nicht nur den Männern, die mit der Waffe in der Hand sterben und deswegen nach Valhall kommen. Und dieses Jenseits, das die Guten belohnt und die Bösen bestraft, das war sicherlich einer der wichtigsten Punkte in der Christianisierung.
The great champion of Christianity was Charlemagne, of the Frankish Carolingian dynasty. In 771, he assumed sole power in the kingdom of the Franks. Charlemagne carried on where Clovis left off, but his ambitions went further. Charlemagne wanted to stamp out all pagan belief, if necessary, by force. Above all, he opposed the Saxons because they clung tightly to their old beliefs. And their leader, Widukind, was not a man to go quietly. Charlemagne decreed that the heathen had to die. His soldiers attacked the Saxon villages, pillaging and murdering. Charlemagne's ruthless pursuit of the pagans earned him the nickname Slaughterer of the Saxons. The Frankish king had an ambitious goal. He wanted to rule a huge empire, like the Romans before him. Only after a decade of death and destruction did the Saxons recognize that they would not be able to keep the mighty Franks out of their tribal areas. The Frankish chroniclers would claim that Widukind had become a Christian because of a miracle. In truth, Widukind just wanted peace. That is why the last of the old Germanic kings accepted baptism. Under Charlemagne, the Frankish kingdom expanded to run from the Pyrenees to Carinthia and from North Germany to central Italy. With his coronation as emperor, he founded a new empire in the image of ancient Rome.